ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that there is someone out there who sees you for exactly who you are? Not for your age, your past, or your mistakes, but for the person you truly are at the core. A person who has fallen in love with you, not because of a number, not because of the years that separate you, but because of the connection, the energy, and the potential they see in you, and the future you can build together. I want you to stop and really think about that. This isn't just about a romantic connection. This is about the deep love we can experience in all forms. The love that knows no boundaries, that defies the logical constructs we place on the world. This love doesn't care about age. This love doesn't care about your past. It sees your heart, and it's ready to work for you. Certainly. Here's an expanded version of the first keynote on the power of unconditional love, written without headings or an intro, as per your request. Love is one of the most powerful and transformative forces in the universe. It's something we all seek, something that defines us, and yet so often we place limitations on it without even realizing. We categorize it, we restrict it, and we define it by boundaries that don't really exist. When we talk about love, we often hear the phrase, "Love knows no bounds." But do we truly understand what that means? Love doesn't care about your age, your appearance, or where you come from. It doesn't follow any societal rules or standards. Love is about connection, about seeing another person for who they are deep inside. When someone falls in love with you, they fall in love with your essence. They fall in love with your energy, your spirit, the way you make them feel and how you see the world, the way you laugh, the way you speak, the way your heart beats. It's not about how many years you've lived or the stories that come with that. It's about the unique vibration you send out into the world and how someone else feels that connection. When love is unconditional, it is not bound by the rules that society tries to place on it. If we could all embrace that truth, if we could remove the judgments and the acceptable boundaries, it would completely change the way we experience relationships. We would stop questioning why someone loves us and instead focus on how that love makes us feel. The truth is, every connection we have, whether it's with a partner, a family member, or a friend, holds a unique purpose, and that purpose often transcends the logical constraints of time. We spend so much time defining ourselves based on external factors, our age, our status, our background. But when love is unconditional, none of that matters. It's about what we bring to the table as human beings, what we can offer each other in terms of kindness, support, growth, and understanding. Age has no power over that. Think about a time when you experienced unconditional love in your life. Maybe it was from a parent, a sibling, or a friend. Do you remember how that felt? You weren't judged for your mistakes, your flaws, or your imperfections. That love was given freely, without expectation. It wasn't based on what you could offer in return, but just on the simple fact that you existed and that your existence mattered. That is the power of unconditional love. It sees you for who you truly are, not the versions of yourself you present to the world. Now let's take this idea of unconditional love and apply it to romantic relationships. Many people believe that love in a romantic context is conditional. I'll love you if you meet my expectations. I'll love you if you look a certain way or act a certain way. But love that is truly unconditional, real love, doesn't come with conditions. When someone loves you, they see the best and worst parts of you, and they love you anyway. It's not about perfection. It's about connection. In romantic relationships, we often get caught up in how things should look. Society tells us that there are specific rules we must follow. There are acceptable norms about age, career, background, and so on. But what if love doesn't care about any of those things? What if love is the thing that breaks the chains of limitation and pushes us to experience life more fully, more authentically? Love should be a force that empowers you, that makes you feel seen, heard, and cherished. When someone falls in love with you, it's not because of a number on your birth certificate. It's because they see your soul, your heart, and everything that makes you you. Age in particular is one of the most common ways people restrict love. We've all heard the saying, there's a big difference between the age of 20 and 40, or it's hard to relate to someone who's decades younger or older. But love doesn't follow such rules. If someone truly loves you, age becomes irrelevant. They are not in love with your age. They are in love with your mind, your heart, and your spirit. They're in love with the person you are today and the person you are growing into tomorrow. When you open yourself up to love without boundaries, it changes everything. It frees you from the fear of judgment and opens your heart to the possibility of connection that you never thought was possible. It gives you the space to love others without restraint, without worrying about what others might think. It invites you to be authentic, real, and vulnerable in ways that foster deep, meaningful relationships. So the next time you question whether love can truly transcend age, status, or any other limitation, remember this. Love is a force that doesn't need permission. It doesn't need to meet society's expectations or be constrained by time. It's pure, it's raw, and it's the most powerful energy you can experience. If someone has fallen in love with you, don't question why or how. It's because they see you for the person you are, not the years you've lived. They see the beauty in your soul, the depth of your heart, and the potential you both have to create something extraordinary together. Love, when it's real, is timeless. It doesn't matter if you're 2 years apart or 20. What matters is the connection you share and the willingness to grow together. Love, in its purest form, is not static. It's fluid. It moves, it evolves, it changes, and it grows. Just as you are not the same person you were 5 years ago, relationships, too, are living, breathing entities that develop over time. When two people come together, especially in a relationship with an age gap, they are embarking on a shared journey of personal growth and transformation. This journey is not just about experiencing the highs of love and companionship, but also about navigating the challenges that inevitably arise along the way. And it's in those challenges, those moments of discomfort and uncertainty, that the opportunity for true growth lies. As individuals, we are constantly evolving physically, emotionally, and mentally. So why should we expect our relationships to remain unchanged? When you enter into a relationship with someone who has lived a different number of years, you bring different perspectives, experiences, and even priorities to the table. It's natural. And yet, this is one of the most beautiful aspects of love. The differences in age and experience are not barriers, but bridges. They offer the chance to teach each other, to learn from one another, and to grow in ways you might not have otherwise imagined. Think about it. Each person you meet in your life is an opportunity to expand your understanding of the world, of love, and of yourself. When you enter into a relationship, it's an invitation to both people to grow and evolve, to become better versions of themselves. A partnership is about challenging each other to be the best you can be, not just as an individual, but as a team. And in that challenge, there's growth. The beauty of a relationship, especially one where there's an age gap, is that it often forces both partners to step outside their comfort zones. Maybe one person is more set in their ways, more accustomed to their routines, while the other is still discovering who they are or forging a new path in life. But rather than these differences being obstacles, they serve as opportunities to expand, learn, and adapt. A younger person in the relationship may offer a fresh perspective, bringing new energy, ideas, and possibilities. They may challenge their partner to think differently, to be more open to new experiences, or to embrace change in ways they hadn't before. Conversely, an older partner may offer wisdom, guidance, and a grounded sense of stability. They may encourage their partner to slow down, reflect, and approach life with more patience and thoughtfulness. This dynamic creates a unique space where both individuals are pushed to grow, where both are able to contribute something valuable to the relationship. And the most powerful relationships are the ones that are constantly evolving, where both people are committed not only to each other, but also to their own personal growth. When you grow together, the relationship becomes a source of strength. It becomes a partnership where both individuals are encouraged to pursue their dreams, reach their full potential, and find fulfillment in all aspects of life. Growth in a relationship isn't just about learning how to communicate better or navigate through difficult times together. It's about becoming more in tune with who you are as a person and encouraging the other person to do the same. It's about recognizing the areas where you need to grow and helping each other get there, supporting each other through each challenge along the way. But growth isn't always easy. It requires vulnerability, openness, and sometimes a willingness to let go of old beliefs, behaviors, or expectations. Growth requires self-awareness and the ability to embrace discomfort. It's easy to stay in our comfort zones, to stick with what we know. But if we're truly committed to becoming the best versions of ourselves and building something beautiful with someone else, we need to be willing to step into the unknown, to face the challenges that will ultimately help us grow. In relationships where there's an age difference, this growth process may happen at different speeds. One person may be further along in their personal journey, while the other is just beginning theirs. But that doesn't mean the relationship is doomed. It simply means that the two people involved will need to have patience, empathy, and an understanding of the other's experience. Growth is not a competition, it's a shared journey. And let's not forget, growth often comes from adversity. Relationships with age differences may present unique challenges. But those challenges are not signs of failure. They are opportunities to become stronger, more understanding, and more connected. In those moments when you feel doubt or frustration, remember that these are the times when you have the chance to grow. Every relationship has its challenges, but how we handle them, how we choose to learn from them and grow through them is what defines the strength of that relationship. It's important to remember that growth doesn't always mean changing who you are to fit into someone else's mold. It's about embracing the parts of yourself that have been dormant or underdeveloped and learning how to bring them to the surface. It's about becoming more authentic, more aligned with your true self. And when both partners in a relationship are focused on their own personal growth, that energy flows into the relationship, creating a bond that is stronger than anything you could have imagined. Ultimately, growth in love is about becoming a better version of yourself. Not for the other person, but for yourself. It's about building a life together where both people are continuously growing, learning, and supporting each other. The beauty of any relationship, no matter the age difference, is that it challenges you to be the best you can be, and it encourages you to evolve in ways you never thought possible. Embrace that growth, embrace the journey, and remember that the more you grow, the more your love will expand, deepening your connection in ways that can only be achieved through mutual growth and understanding. In the end, it's not about staying the same, it's about evolving together. And it's in that evolution, that constant journey of self-discovery and partnership, that the true magic of love resides. Life has a way of unfolding in ways we least expect. It's easy to think we have control over every part of our lives, but sometimes the most significant moments come when we least anticipate them. There's a certain comfort in believing that we are the architects of our own destiny. But what if there's a greater force at work? A force that is guiding us, sometimes leading us down paths we would never have chosen for ourselves, but ultimately taking us to the place we need to be. This is the truth about God's timing and the way He orchestrates the events in our lives, often in ways we can't comprehend until much later. When we look at relationships, especially those that seem unconventional or unexpected, it's easy to question why things are happening the way they are. Perhaps there's an age difference, a gap in experience, or a set of circumstances that doesn't quite make sense. But what if this is exactly how it was meant to be? What if this person, this love, came into your life not by accident, but as part of a greater plan that is unfolding just as it should? We all have moments in our lives when we question the timing of things. We wonder why certain relationships haven't worked out, why we met someone when we were not ready, or why we found ourselves in situations that felt out of sync with our expectations. It's natural to question the timing. We live in a world that encourages us to plan every aspect of our lives down to the smallest detail. So when things don't go according to our plans, it's easy to feel lost or confused. But this is where faith comes in. Faith in the belief that there's a higher purpose guiding us, a divine force that sees the bigger picture. The timing of relationships in particular is often something we can't fully understand until much later. We may meet someone at a time when we feel we're in the wrong place in our lives, when we think we're not prepared, or when we're in a phase of growth and transition. Yet it is in these moments, when things feel most uncertain, that God is often leading us towards something beautiful. God's timing is never random. Even when we don't see it, there is a greater plan at work, one that is unfolding in ways that serve us even when we can't yet see the benefits. Think about the story of your own life. Look back at the moments when things didn't make sense, the relationships that didn't work out, the jobs you didn't get, the decisions you second-guessed. How many of those moments turned out to be blessings in disguise? How many times have you looked back and realized that the path you thought you were meant to follow wasn't the one that was right for you? It's often only in hindsight that we recognize the truth, that everything that happened, every twist and turn was part of the plan. And this includes the people who come into our lives, the ones who change us, challenge us, and help us grow. So, when we find ourselves in relationships that seem to defy logic, whether it's an age difference, a different background, or an unexpected meeting, we have to trust that there is a reason for it. It's easy to doubt, to think that something is wrong or not meant to be, but that's not always the case. Sometimes the most unconventional relationships are the ones that are the most aligned with our soul's purpose. They are the relationships that teach us the most, that push us to grow beyond our limits, and that ultimately lead us to becoming the best versions of ourselves. One of the most important things we can do when faced with such relationships is to trust. Trust in the process, trust in the timing, and trust that things are unfolding exactly as they should. It's easy to let fear or doubt cloud our judgment, but fear comes from the unknown, from our inability to see the bigger picture. Faith, on the other hand, comes from a deep knowing that everything is happening for a reason, even when we can't fully understand it at the moment. God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with our own expectations. The relationship you're in right now, whether it's one that seems to make sense or one that feels unexpected, has come into your life for a reason. You may not see the full picture yet, but that doesn't mean it's not part of a divine plan. You are exactly where you need to be, and this person, this connection is exactly what you need to grow, to learn, and to evolve. One of the most profound aspects of faith is trusting in the unknown. We want certainty, we want answers, and we want to know that everything will work out exactly how we envision it. But life doesn't work that way. If we always knew the end result, there would be no room for growth, no space for learning and discovery. It is in the uncertainty, in the moments when we don't have all the answers, that we are pushed to grow the most. And it is often in those moments that God is guiding us, leading us to exactly where we need to be, even when we don't realize it. If you find yourself in a relationship where the timing feels off, where the circumstances don't fit into your idea of perfect, remember this: there is a reason for it. Trust that God has a plan for you and that this relationship is part of that plan. It may not make sense now, but in time, you will see the beauty of how it all fits together. Trust that God's timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't align with our own plans. So take a step back and allow yourself to be present in the moment. Don't rush to judge or analyze every detail. Let go of the need to control the timing and instead lean into faith. Trust that everything is happening exactly as it should. And know that, in the end, this person, this relationship, has come into your life at the perfect time, even if it doesn't look the way you expected. The timing is divine, and that is exactly what you need to hear right now. When we look at the world, it's easy to become absorbed in the noise of expectations, those spoken or unspoken rules that others, and even ourselves, impose on what love should look like. The truth, however, is that love is far more powerful than any set of external criteria. We live in a world that often overcomplicates relationships, making us believe that love must follow a specific script, a certain age, appearance, or societal status. But real love, unconditional, unfiltered love, isn't bound by these rules. It defies the limitations we try to place on it. In fact, it often grows stronger in ways that are impossible to explain by anything other than the sheer authenticity and depth of connection between two people. When someone loves you, truly loves you, it's not because of some list of qualities or external benchmarks. It's because they connect with something far deeper, the essence of who you are as a person, not the shell that the world sees. Love transcends the surface. It transcends the judgments and expectations that society often places on relationships. It's not about a number or a certain time of life, but about a shared experience, an unspoken understanding that exists between two people who can see past everything superficial and connect on a much more profound level. Too often we get caught up in believing that love should fit into neat categories or predetermined timelines. We tell ourselves that love is only acceptable when it's between two people who are within a specific age range or who share similar life experiences. We impose these limits on ourselves and on others, believing that anything outside of these boundaries is a mistake or something that can't possibly be real. But what happens when we throw those limits out the window? What happens when we let go of the need to box love into categories and simply allow it to unfold in its natural form? The truth is that real love doesn't follow any prescribed script. The essence of love is so much greater than we can comprehend, and sometimes it shows up in the most unexpected ways. It doesn't matter if there is an age difference or a gap in life stages. Love is not bound by those things. Love is about two people seeing each other for who they truly are, flaws, imperfections, and all, and accepting that in all its rawness. It's not about finding someone who matches your life perfectly, but about finding someone who enhances your life, someone who sees your value even when the world doesn't. When you're loved in this way, when someone loves you without expectations or limitations, it can be an incredibly liberating experience. It means you don't have to hide your true self. You don't have to conform to some ideal that society tells you is the right way to love. There is no need to fit into a mold. You can simply be who you are, and that alone is enough to create a deep, meaningful connection with someone else. Love, in its purest form, is a safe space where you can be vulnerable, authentic, and free from judgment. It allows you to be your most real self without fear of rejection or condemnation. This is why love often comes when you least expect it. When you let go of the need to control or define it, when you stop trying to fit it into a specific box, love finds its way to you. Sometimes it comes in a form that doesn't match your expectations. It may come in the form of someone who doesn't fit the conventional mold, someone older or younger, someone from a completely different background. But when the connection's genuine, it doesn't matter. What matters is the authenticity of the bond, the shared respect, and the mutual desire to grow together. This is the beauty of love without expectations. It allows both people to explore, grow, and learn together. It creates an environment where there is no pressure to live up to a set of standards, where each person can evolve and develop on their own terms while supporting the other. In this kind of love, there is room for change and growth without fear of losing each other in the process. In fact, love like this thrives on growth. It invites both people to embrace their individuality while also nurturing the connection they share. In relationships where there is an age gap or other differences that society might view as unconventional, there is a unique opportunity to experience love without limits. When both people are willing to look beyond the superficial and engage with each other on a deeper level, the connection that forms is incredibly powerful. It's a bond that's built on trust, mutual respect, and a shared understanding that love doesn't have to conform to society's rules. In these kinds of relationships, you have the chance to experience life in a more expansive way. The age difference, the differences in life experiences, or the contrasts in personality can actually become the strengths of the relationship. They provide opportunities to learn from one another, to share different perspectives, and to expand your worldview. When you open yourself to a love that doesn't have to fit into a specific box, you open yourself to endless possibilities. Possibilities for personal growth, for new experiences, and for deeper understanding. Real love is about creating space for both people to be their true selves. It's about supporting one another without conditions or expectations. About seeing each other as whole people, not just as roles that fit into a certain idea of what a relationship should look like. It's about letting go of preconceived notions and embracing the raw, messy, beautiful reality of love as it comes. At the end of the day, love is not about fitting into a mold. It's about connection, authenticity, and mutual growth. It's about finding someone who loves you for who you truly are, not for the version of you that the world expects you to be. When you open yourself up to love that doesn't follow society's script, you unlock a deeper level of connection and fulfillment than you could ever imagine. You allow yourself to experience love in its truest, purest form. A love that is limitless, expansive, and free from the chains of expectations. This kind of love is not bound by age, background, or circumstance. It is simply two people coming together fully present and open to create something beautiful and real. And that, in its essence, is what makes love so incredibly powerful.